ओम सच्चिदानंद परब्रह्मा परमात्मा पुरुषोत्तमा श्री भगवती समेत श्री भगवते नमः. May the one who is all, who is in whom is all, bless us to be successful, happy, peaceful and prosperous. Dear devotees, I am very happy today to discuss on a very important subject as a consequence of a query raised by one of our dear devotee. The question he has raised is, Guruji, you are saying God is in you and you have to realize Him. We have seen many religions saying the same statement, but we are not able to understand or comprehend it because in practical life we are not able to see so, we are not able to feel so. Therefore, is it just that we have to take it at a face value or as a faith value, or is there any scientific background and scientific validity of this statement? This question I consider is very relevant, pertinent and important because most of us have the same question. Some articulate and some do not. The people who believe in God generally believe because their mind is conditioned to be so because of their family habits or circumstantial habits or out of fear. The people who don't believe God, they don't believe because it is not able to withstand the scientific scrutiny. That is why the scientists, they refuse to accept God because they want proof. So this is a very valid question. We repeatedly say, rightly so, that if you have to succeed in life, you have to draw help from the God who is within you. But without really knowing where is He and how is He within ourselves, how do we draw help from the God? So I thought that this question must be addressed and our devotees must know the true answer. I thank the devotee for raising this question. I tell you, my dear devotee, that God is a truth, a scientific truth. God is in us is a scientific statement. We can feel the God is a scientific experience. We can invoke and use Him is a scientific process. I am confirming this. Many rishis and many enlightened men have experienced the God. But the question will arise, why I am not able to experience? Then what is the meaning of enlightenment? So therefore enlightenment is beyond the reach of common man. All these questions will arise. But the truth is not like that. All the problems are arising only because we don't know what is God. The moment we know what is God, everybody will know the God. The religions have not articulated what is God. This is a major problem. No matter what the religion is, whether Hinduism, Islam or Christianity, they have taken for granted the existence of God and assuming that everybody knows He is existing and they have proceeded. But Vedas have clearly told in scientific terms what is God and how he is in man and how one can realize him and invoke him. But unfortunately, Vedas are in algebraically coded form. Vedas have meanings in three different levels: at physical level, at mental level, and at spiritual level. The Vedic terms means three things at three different levels. For example, a cow means a cow at physical level, but it means knowledge at the spiritual level. A horse means the animal horse at the physical level and the vital powers at the spiritual level. Dawn means the sunrise in the physical level and wisdom in the spiritual level. Your yajna means fire sacrifice in physical level and offering whatever you have for the public good is the meaning at the spiritual level. Now, if you take at the physical level and operate, where meanings will be completely different. The example is this Pasubandhana Yajna. In Sanskrit, Pasu means ego as well as animal. Yajna means fire sacrifice as well as sacrifice for the public good. The Vedas have meant Pasu Bandhana Yajna, by which you have to tie your ego and use yourself for the public good. But some people have misinterpreted it by meaning tie the goat, because Pasu also means a goat. Tie a goat and sacrifice it into the altar of fire. So this is the problem, because Vedas are algebraically coded. In Satya Yuga, people understood the real meaning of Vedas at soul level. Therefore, the God, as explained in the Vedas, were understood by them at soul level. There was no need for any separate explanation or explanatory notes. In the Treta Yuga, people understood it at intuition level. And in Dwapara Yuga, they understood it at the high intellect level. But with the advent of Kali Yuga, where humans operate only at the mental and physical level, these secrets have been lost. Therefore, we have not understood the definition and meaning of what is God. That is why all this confusion. Anticipating this only, when the Trimurtis and the Rishis requested Lord Shiva on this subject, he enumerated Shakti Yoga. He explained the problems of human beings are going to be their inability to know their true internal powers, that is, the fact that they have God within them, and therefore they are going to have problems. And Vedas are only in a coded form, therefore he explained it in a decoded form. Shakti Yoga has, as expounded by Lord Shiva, 2 chapters. The first chapter is Atma Jnana. The second chapter is Atma Sadhana. In the first chapter, it explains what is God and how he is in man. how man can realize the God and how man can use the God. And in the second chapter, it explains the process of knowing the God, realizing the God within inside, and then putting him into use. Therefore, this Atma Jnana and Atma Sadhana gives answer to these questions as to what is God. The moment we take God as presented to us as Narayana, Shiva, Lakshmi, Jesus, Prophet, etc., we have a problem because we are not able to find them. The words that God is he or she itself is a misnomer. Then what is God? Vedas declare God is it. The it can take any shape, then it may become a he or she. But God is it. But what is that it? That has not been explained, which can be understood by common man anywhere. Vedas explain it, but since it is coded, and in Kali Yuga we people have lost that capacity to decode it, we are not able to know it. Therefore, if we can understand scientifically what is God, then it will take a minute, really a minute, to know that he is within you and to use him. Therefore, the problem lies only in lack of explaining the definition of what is God. This is what has to be done, and this is what is done in Shakti Yoga. I am only reminded of two parables at this point. There was a musk deer. It could smell the fragrance of musk, but it could not find anywhere. It was running, and running. Finally, a rishi asked, "Why are you running like this?" The deer said that I am running for the musk. The rishi told, "Wait. The musk is nowhere else but is within you. You are not understanding it." The deer got the shock of its life. The rishi said, "Musk is a part and parcel of you. So don't search it anywhere. Better start enjoying it." The second parable was an young man was begging. And one day, one of his relatives came from abroad and was searching for him in the town, and they told he is begging in the temple. He went there and he was shocked to see him begging. He told that guy, "Come with me. Why are you begging?" He said, "I am begging for my day-to-day living." The person who has come from abroad told, "You are a fool. You are a multimillionaire." The beggar said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You come with me." He took him to his house. He said, "Have you ever got into your puja room?" That person said, "Puja room, what for?" "Only person who has belief in God will go there. I don't have belief. I am a beggar. God has made me a beggar. Why should I go to the puja room?" He said, "Yeah, this is the problem." He took him to the puja room. Behind the Vigraha, there was one small chamber. He has to open a small door, and inside there were tons of money. He said, "Your great grandfather has bequeathed this money for you because an astrologer has told him that he will be having a great grandson after the demise of all his sons, and he will become an orphan. At that time, there will be nobody to protect him, and you better leave good money for you. Therefore, he has left this money. But you did not do any careful search around, and you thought that you are nobody, and therefore you are a beggar. After seeing the money, that man realized that he is now a very rich person. What has happened here? He has always been rich. He was having it. He simply did not know. The moment he knew it, he started operating, but somebody had to come there and tell him and show him the money. We are all like that. We are all like that musk deer. We have it with us, but we don't know. A rishi has to come and tell us. We are like that young boy. We are very rich truly, but we don't know. We are living like a beggar. Like that foreigner comes and tells, somebody has to come and tell us. So, we need somebody to tell, and that is what Shakti Yoga is telling. And there is one more parable. A horse was very thirsty. The horseman took pity and he wanted to take it to a pond. There was a noise coming. So the horseman said, noise is coming. It's possible there is a pond. He went there and there was truly a pond. But when he took the horse to the pond, the horse was refusing to drink. There was a man sitting nearby. He said, what happened? He said, this horse is not drinking the water. That man also saw the pond, the horse will go near the pond and then trace its steps back. It was doing like this. That man said, don't worry, I will make it a drink. He went and switched off the motor. It was the motor that was making the noise, and that man sitting was pumping out water from the pond to his field. So once the noise is stopped, the pond took the water. He told, because of the noise it is not taking the water, because pond and the noise are not commonly together. Therefore it did not take. Now once the noise is stopped, it took the water. This horse has an ability to question. That is why it has stopped taking water when the noise was there. Once it got the answer that it is only an artificial noise, it took the water. We can also be in that situation. Even if we are told about the scientific facts of God, unless our intellect, our intelligence is going to get answers to all our questions, we may not drink the water like that horse. Therefore, as Vedas say, to realize God, to know God, to experience God, to use God, three things are required. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Shravana, you have to learn. You have to learn, fully learn. Manana, you have to reason it out, question, reflect, and get satisfied. God is not belief. You cannot operate on the God principle or draw benefit from God principle just on faith. You have to get fully convinced. So, manana. Then nididhyasana. You have to practice it. You have to realize it. You have to internalize it. So, Veda says, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. First, understand what is God. Understand how God is within you. Then get all your doubts cleared. Be convinced. Have the conviction. And then learn the process of invoking. And then invoke and be successful. Without invoking the God within us, we cannot be all that successful. Why? All of us are born with our powers, but those powers are limited. Valmiki was asked by rishis, how is that Lord Hanuman alone was so powerful? He was actually more powerful than Lord Rama. He was never afraid of anything, whether it was Ravana or fire, whether it was Simhiha, or whether it is to fly over a long distance to get the Sanjeevi. They asked, how is that? He was a monkey like any other monkey. He was not even a man. Valmiki replied that he could understand the God within him, that God's power within him, and he was able to invoke it at will. That is the difference between anybody else and Lord Hanuman. Therefore, the knowledge of God within us and the ability to invoke him will make us completely different. All the yogis, all the rishis, they have always known and invoked the God. But we come back to the main question, first question itself. What is God? Guruji, it is excellent. It's a beautiful lecture. But what is God? My dear devotee, you can know what is God only through the process of a devoted learning of Shakti Yoga. Because it is for no reason that such a great secret, which is going to be great use to human being, has been hidden as a Guhya Vidya. Nobody gives the atomic energy secrets open because it can be misused. Therefore, it is always kept a secret, but it is available. People have to strive for it. One of the definition, one of the need, one of the quality of a good student is he need to have the desire to learn. One of the need to get the knowledge of God or enlightenment is called mumukshatva. That is the deep desire to know the truth. Without that, there is no point in giving this information. It is not to be given in a pamphlet. It is not to be distributed for, freely at railway stations and bus stations. It is available, but somebody who is serious has to work towards learning it. Therefore, people who are serious, in fact, Vedas have declared, don't teach the secrets of Veda to people who are not having a yearning for it, who are not having a serious desire for it, because it will be a disservice to the scientific secrets of Veda. Therefore, you should develop that seriousness to learn. After all, we spend so much of time to read the technical literature of a mobile phone or a television set or a refrigerator. You would have invested a few 10,000 rupees. We spend so much of time to understand its technical features and how to use it. But when it comes to knowing about ourselves, we are not willing to spend time to know and read the technical manual about us. The technical manual is the Vedas, and in a condensed form it is in Shakti Yoga. If we are not willing to spend even that little time, how can we know about us? When we know God, we will know us. When we know us, we can use the God. It is as simple as that. And knowing God is not at all difficult, because God is not very difficult to be defined. And after knowing what is God, you will be surprised. Oh my God, is it so simple? In fact, you will realize that you have been experiencing Him always, but you did not know that. It is like that beggar. He always had, but he did not know that. So, if you invest some time and energy in trying to know with wholehearted devotion and attention in learning Shakti Yoga, you will know what is God. You will know scientifically what is God. You will know scientifically that He is within you. He will know scientifically you can realize Him. He can know scientifically you can use Him. Because God is a scientific truth. He is in you is a scientific fact. You can realize Him is a scientific experience. And you can invoke Him is a scientific process. There is nothing unscientific about it. There is no myth. There is no superstition. This Atma Jnana and Atma Sadhana will make you to know God. Actually, in the process, it will make you to know you because you are nothing but God. You are a manifested God. Rama and Krishna are not the only avatar of God. You and me are also avatar of God. They have taken avatar at a much higher level of manifestation. We are at certain lower levels of manifestation, but we can increase our levels of manifestation. Avatar is God or God's energy coming into the world, manifesting into the world. A rishi or a guru is a person born as man but ascending in his internal divine energies and becoming God-like. That is why man can become a God. Manidhanam Daivamahalam. They are not mere statements. The problem is language has barriers. Beyond this, language cannot explain. We have to understand and experience the truth. For understanding it in the most easy form, only Shakti Yoga has been brought in. That too by Lord Shiva, knowing the difficulties of the people in Kali Yuga. Ideal is to read the Vedas. Ideal is to read the science of Vedas, study the science of Vedas. The next best and easy and effective option is to learn Shakti Yoga and practice. Therefore, my dear devotees, God is a scientific truth. You can experience Him within you. You can invoke Him to do what you want to succeed in life. He is a genie which is with you. But you have to know that you have it and you can use it. Therefore, I conclude my answer to the devotee who raised the question. You don't have to take God at a faith value or face value. God is a scientifically validated and validatable truth and fact. But you have to do it for your own satisfaction. Persons who have done it, they will be very happy. They will be very clear. But they can't do it for others. Your feeling is your feeling. I can't feel for you. You can't feel for me. Ultimately, experience is one's own experience. Therefore, if you have to experience God, scientifically experience God, you have to take efforts and you will find at the end, yes, God is real, scientifically real. I can feel Him and I can invoke Him. Therefore, you don't have to be worried. God is not a myth. It is a scientific truth. May Lord Rishabharuda bless you all to experience the God scientifically and make your life successful, happy, peaceful and prosperous. Om Rishabharuda Parabrahmane Namaha.